All right, so microphone check's good. We're going to go ahead and get started. I've got notes right here, so we'll get into it. These are notes from way back. This would have been during, well, where would I have been here? In the stage of the emotional execution, also known as the avoidant discard. I would have been in the moment where you're trying to learn to detach, and I found myself being kind of afraid of it because essentially, if you're listening to this and you've been listening to my content, I'm hinting, if not begging people to see this as an opportunity for significant transformation in your own life. It takes pressure and it takes experience or wisdom or time to create a diamond, to create something, to propel you forward to discovery and building something beautiful out of chaos, to binary stars, dancing in the universe, in chaos. And through that, there is a creativity of light, of something new, of something beautiful, right? And so I've been trying to teach people as a life coach. Look, I do life coaching. I've been doing it for 8 years now. All right. It's pretty much since 2018, 2019. Even we coaches go through experiences where you learn about the world that you thought you knew. And the more you know, the more you don't know. And so, I hint that this is an opportunity for us to learn. Okay. So I'm going through this moment where I have to face some realities that, look, man, you emotionally attached to this person. You didn't really follow your intuition. You kind of knew there were things, there were hints of it, but you had fallen in love with the potential of this person, an idea of this person, thinking that they would grow with you. All right. And so when you realize that's not the case, here you find yourself in a discard and you're seeing your blind spots. And in this moment, I think around this time, emotionally, I was still like being emotionally triggered by some obsessive thinking or ruminating thoughts. Okay. And so I really wanted to get rid of that. And at the time, I was thinking about boundaries. If you're watching discard videos or avoidant attachment videos, you're hearing a lot about boundaries. All right. And oftentimes, especially with me, self-love, self-respect, self-dignity, I felt those slipping away from me. And I was having to really give myself away or go through self-betrayal to fall into this person's frame and lower my vibration. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm very empathic. I'm aware of these things, of these energy systems in the world around us. I'm an exercise physiologist as well. I'm a cardiac therapist. So I do life coaching, cardiac therapy, exercise physiologist. I'm a master of the energy systems of the body, but I also utilize that out in the world that we live in. Okay. So I'm very aware of these things. And at the time I was realizing, dude, I'm going to have to give some things up. I'm going to have to put my life on hold. All of my aspirations have been put in the back seat to this person. And I'm trying to manage this relationship here, and it's not being reciprocated, the energy that I'm giving. All right. So you are attached. So you're trying to detach from it, and it becomes kind of a part of your identity. And you have to sit there for a while and think about what that is. Now, so that's just to paint a long-winded picture of what I was going through at that time and how you use these opportunities as or this golden, profound, powerful moment of self-realization and to see what it is you need to overcome whatever fears you have to take charge of your life moving forward from here. All right. And so we talk about, I labeled this one Revelations of the Dark. All right. Why that is because you have to go deep within, man. And all the resentment and anger or confusion that you might feel, you have to channel your focus inside to understand why it was that you got yourself into this position to begin with. Are you an avoidant yourself? Right? These are deep questions that really deserve reflection and answering. And so mine was boundaries. You're hearing this word boundaries over and over again in a lot of these avoidant attachment videos, and the importance of doing so. And so you want to protect your values, your self-love, self-respect, self-dignity. You want to protect your foundational principles. All right. You want to protect the integrity of those things. And when you feel yourself in self-betrayal, oftentimes we're sacrificing those things, and that person actually reflects your lack of respect for yourself right back to you. And that's where the disrespect starts to come in. That's where the disregarding starts to come in. And the person doesn't even trust your judgment at times. And it's like, how can that be? Because the last time I checked, I've been in the most dangerous places in the world on multiple occasions. I've traveled the world, been to many, many different countries. Marine Scout Sniper. I'm a cardiac therapist. I'm published in the American Journal of Exercise Physiology. I'm a pretty accomplished person who is competent and coherent to many things. And I've deconstructed the world that we live in to the point where I can assist other people in guiding them to get the things they want, even in a turbulent and traumatic world that we live in. Okay. So where am I going wrong here? And you find yourself questioning yourself. And so boundaries are going to be important for ensuring that you can maintain the integrity of those values and principles that you've had, and the confidence, right? The air of certainty that you have about yourself, that you in fact are competent and can get anything pretty much done that you want. You put your mind to it. You're an entrepreneur. You want to do different things in this world. You're writing books, for fuck's sake. Pardon my language here. But so we talk about boundaries. Now, I had written that boundaries, now I'm not here to necessarily define boundaries. We can define boundaries in any way we want, but basically what boundaries do. All right. So boundaries basically allow for points of communication to resolve tension from pattern recognition. And so you recognize that this person has some patterns and things really don't add up. Your intuition's telling you something, and yet you continue going down this path. Now, there are many reasons for that, okay? Seeking validation, for example, once that person starts to go cold and distant, while simultaneously being flirtatious, being open, being warm, being loving to everyone else right in front of you, even complete strangers of the opposite sex. Imagine how that feels, right? I wonder if people who are watching this video know how that feels. And so, when you set these boundaries, and you are able to communicate. So you're setting a point of communication during which time you can pull the person aside and say, "Hey, I just wanted to talk to you about this. This really rubbed me the wrong way, and what's this all about? And how do you what are your thoughts on it?" I had done that on multiple occasions, and it's completely disregarded. Now, I wasn't gaslit most of the time. I know that some people are, where they'll be told, "Oh, you're just being too sensitive about it," so on and so forth. I've experienced that in my past relationships, not with this one necessarily. But so you're able to resolve tension from pattern recognition. Otherwise, it goes unresolved. Okay. And this is where the avoidant will start to critique the relationship, and their fears start to come true, according to many reports, according to the so-called experts out there, according to other avoidants or people who were avoidant at times in their life, and they open up about it and talk about their experience. All right. So often we don't resolve and communicate for fear of being disregarded, invalidated, or even gaslit. All right. And so again, I went back to the fact that I wasn't gaslit mostly until the very end. And then it was all my fault, which was really interesting. But it only affirmed that that person was in fact like building up this rap sheet of things to confirm their worst fears of abandonment to begin with. And they were looking for a way out, even though we were seeking a life together, to move in together, to have a family together, to get married, to move states. I mean, you name it, like all of it was falling into place, while at the same time the person was looking for a way out, which is incredible to me. Very disingenuous, insincere, dishonest, uncharacteristic of who you thought the person was, right? And this is what makes things so confusing when they discard to begin with. So you don't resolve these things. They're left unresolved, and that's a big deal, especially when you're a person who logically wants to solve a problem. I understand that space is needed at times. People need time and space to think about things, especially when you're not married, you're not living together yet. It's important to take some time and space to think about things. Even when you are married, it's important to take time to evaluate your thoughts, process your emotions, and then come back to it, and make sure that things are not unresolved. We don't have to solve the problem now, but we certainly are going to come back to this this issue or this tension to basically move forward and learn from it and grow together. All right. If you don't find healthy ways to communicate legitimate concerns, you will impulsively react to triggers in the future, and emotional engagement becomes difficult, or emotional management.